Hello Primary 3, this is Chapter 6, Lesson 115. You can find it in your booklet from page 259 to page 266. At the end of this lesson, you have to know how to calculate the time and story problems, calculate the ellipse time using the clock model. The keywords for this lesson is ellipse time, long arm, minute arm, or short arm is hour arm. Before we start our lesson, please bring your pencil, your booklet, your ruler, and your notebook or your copybook. Okay, before we start, you should know that this is called analog form for the time, and this is called the digital form for the time. The short arm is for hours and the long arm is for minute. The numbers we have in the analog form is the numbers for hours. We have 12 hours AM and 12 PM. And for the minutes, we look at the numbers every time you multiply it by 5 because each one is represent 5 minutes. Here we is 0 minute and here is 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and here 60 when we start a new minute, so it's 00 again. So here I have a clock and I want to read this time in analog, from analog form to digital form. So I will start with the long arm. The short arm, sorry, is for hours. It's between 11 and 12. It didn't reach a 12, so it's still 11. And here we have the long arm for minutes is on 9. So 9 multiply 5 give you 45, so it's 45 minutes. Here I have the short arm is on 12 and the long arm is on 2 for minutes. So I will multiply 2 by 5, it gives me 10 minutes. So I want to find the ellipse time between these two clocks. So I started at 11:45 minutes. So I will move the long arm to get a whole clock, okay? So I will start at a whole hour. So I'll move the long arm till here. So now it's 12 o'clock. So from here to here, this is 15 minutes. 5, 10, 15 minutes. So it passed from here to here 15 minutes. Now I'm at 12. The clock here is 12 and 10. So I will move 5, 10. It will be 12 and 10 minutes. So this is 10 minutes. So the ellipse time is 15 minutes plus 10 minutes. 5 plus 0 is 5. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So the time have passed is 25 minutes. So the first thing I do, I move the long arm till I have a complete hour, then continue counting. Okay, I have in an analog form and I want to make it in digital form. So I will read the hours first. The short arm is on 4, so I write 4, and the long arm is on 12, so it's 00 minutes. Here the short arm is on 5 and the long arm is on 3, so it's, let's calculate it. It's 3 by 5 equals 15, so it's 15 minutes. I want to calculate the ellipse time between these two. So the time I started is on 4. So to calculate the ellipse time, I calculate the hours first. As you can see, it changed from 4 to 5. So it means the long arm move a whole circle to will be at 5 o'clock. So a whole circle, this means 1 hour. So now let's calculate the minutes. Minute change, it will be on 15. So I will move the long arm to be on 15. So this is mean that the time have passed from here to here is 15 minutes. So at the time passed is 1 hour and 15 minutes. Here the short arm is on 8, so I write 8 in hours, and the long arm is on 3, so it's 15 minutes. Here the short arm is on 10 and the long arm is on 3. is 50 minutes. So I want to know what the time passed between this. As you can see, only the hour changed. So it's 8:50 minutes. So I will change only the hours. If this short arm moved one more circle, it's on 9. So it means it's moved the whole circle, it's a 1 hour. So if the short arm moved a whole circle, it's on 10. So that means it moved the whole circle, it's 2 hours. So now it's 10:15, so the time have passed is 2 hours. Okay, let's calculate the time here. First, let's find the digital form for this clock, analog form. So the short arm is on 1, and the long arm is on 6, so it means 30 minutes. And here the short arm is on 4, and the long arm is on 3, so it's 15 minutes. Let's calculate the ellipse time between these two. I started at 1:30 minutes or 1:30. First, to calculate the ellipse time, I start with hours, okay? So if I want to calculate the hours, the long arm must be on 12 to calculate the hours. So I will move the long arm to be on 12. So this means the short arm will move to the next hour, it will be on 2. But let's see, the long arm moved all the way from here to here, so it's 30 minutes. Now it's time to calculate the hours. I'm at 2 o'clock, here it's 4, so the short arm will move to 3. This means the long arm move a whole circle, so it's a 1 hour. Now the short arm will move to 4. This means the long arm moved the whole circle, so 2 hours. Now I calculated the hour passed, let's calculate the minutes. It's 4:50 minutes, so the long arm will be on 3, will move this way. So all this way is 15 minutes. Let's calculate the minutes together. The minutes have passed is 30 minutes plus 15, so 0 plus 5 is 5. 3 plus 1 is 4. So the time have passed is 2 hours and 45 minutes. Let's write the digital form. The short arm between 6 and 7, it didn't reach 7, so it's still on 6. And the long arm is on 9, so this is mean 9 by 5 give you 45 minutes. Here the short arm is on 10, and the long arm is on 3, so it gives you 15 minutes. Let's calculate the ellipse time. So I started the time here, it's 6:45, or you can say 6:45, it's 6:45, so it's quarter to reach 7. So to calculate the ellipse time, I start to calculate the hours. First, to calculate the hours, the long arm must be on 12. So I'll move the long arm all the way to here. This means the short arm will move to the next hour, 7. So all the way from here to here is 15 minutes. It was 6:45, so it's quarter to reach 7, so it's 15 minutes. Now it's time to calculate how many hours passed. So the short arm will move to the next hour. It means the long arm moves the whole circle, so it's 1 hour. Now the short arm will move to the next hour. This means the long arm move the whole circle, so it's 2 hours. The short arm will move to the next hour. This means the long arm moves the whole circle, so it's 3 hours. Now I calculated the hours. Let's calculate the minutes. It's 10:15. So I will move the long arm in 3. So from all the way from here to here is 15 minutes. Let's calculate the minutes together. 15 plus 15. 5 plus 5 is 10. So I put 0 and carry up 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And 1 is 3. So the time passed is 3 hours and 30 minutes. Here I will have the analog clock is missing its arm, and I have the digital form. So I will write from digital to an analog form. Then I will calculate the ellipse time. So I have here 5:30 minutes. So it means the long arm is on 30 minutes and the short arm is on 5. So let's start with hours. The short arm is on 5 and the long arm is on 30 minutes. So where's the 30 minutes on this As I know that every number represents 5 minutes, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So the long arm will be on 6. Here I have 7:45 minutes, so the short arm will be on 7, and the long arm is on 45 minutes, so I will move 5 every time, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, so the long arm will be on 9. Now I want to calculate the ellipse time between this. So it started at 5:30, and as you can see, the time changed. So I can move this long arm all this way. I can move this long arm all around itself along a whole circle. So it will be 6:30 past, 6:30. So this means it moved the whole circle. So this whole circle means this move a whole hour. So again, I moved the long arm a whole circle, so this means the short arm will move to the next hour, so this will be a whole hour. Then I will move the long arm a whole circle, so it will make another hour, and it will be 7:30. It will be 2 hours. Now I have a 7:30, and it's 45, so I will move the long arm till it will be 45. So this is 15 minutes. Between here and here, it's 15 minutes. So the time have passed is 2 hours. Here I have the short arm will be on 7, and the long arm will be on 9, because this is hours, and the hours is on 7, and this is minutes, and the 45 minutes it means on 9. Here I have 9 hours, so the short arm will be on 9, and the long arm will be on 15. Now I want to calculate the ellipse time between these two times. I started at 7:45. It means it's called 7:45 or quarter to 8. So it means it have a quarter to reach 8. Quarter is a 15 minutes. So the long arm will move till 12. So the short arm will be on 8. This time passed from 9 to 12 is a 15 minutes. Now I have a clock. I want to change the hours first. Calculate how many hours passed. So I am at 8. Change it. The long arm will move a whole circle, will be on 9. So this means a whole hour half passed. Now I changed the hours. I calculated how many hours passed. Now it's time to calculate the minutes. So it's 9:15. So I will move the long arm to, it will be on 15, so it will be here. The time passed from here to here is 15 minutes. So let's calculate the minutes passed. 5 plus 5 equals 10, so I put 0 and carry up 1. 1 and 1 is 2, and 1 is 3. So it's 30 minutes. So the time passed is an hour and 30 minutes. Here I have the short arm is on 11, and the long arm is on 35 minutes. So let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So the long arm will be on 7. So here the short arm will be on 1, because it's 1 in hours. And minutes, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So the long arm will be on 5. Let's calculate the ellipse time. I started at 11:35 minutes. Okay? So first, I want to calculate how many hours passed. So the long arm must be on 12 to calculate the hours. So I move the long arm all the way here. So it will be on 12. This means the short arm will move to the next hour, will be 12. So the time passed from here to here is 25 minutes. Okay? Now, I changed the minutes. Let's calculate how many hours passed. So the short arm will move to the next hour. It will be on 1, and this means the long arm move the whole circle. So the whole hour half passed. Now I have the hours calculated. I will calculate the minutes. It's 25. So the long arm will be on 5. So this is a 25 minutes. So let's calculate the minute paused. I will add 25 plus 25. 5 plus 5 is 10. So I put 0 and carry up 1. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 equals 5. So it's 55 minutes. Sorry, it's 50 minutes. So it means it's an hour and a 15-minute pause. Here I have some story problems about ellipse time. Let's read it together. Zane wake up at 7 a.m. He left for school at 8 a.m. It took him 15 minutes to have the breakfast, 10 minutes to brush his teeth, and 10 minutes to pick up his bag. If he wants to do extra exercise for 15 minutes, okay, in the morning, would he have enough time before leaving to school? Let's see. When he woke up, it was 7 o'clock. So I want to calculate the time he took to do these things, having breakfast and brush the teeth and pick up the bag, and see if he have enough time to do the morning exercise. But you must know that he must leave at 8 o'clock. So let's add all the time he took together. 15 minutes to have breakfast, 10 minutes to brush the teeth, and 10 minutes to pick up the bag. So add the ones with ones and the tens with tens. 5 plus 0 plus 0 equals 5. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. So it took him 35 minutes to have the breakfast and brush the teeth and pick up the bag. So when he finished, the clock will be like this. The long arm will be on 7 and the short arm will be between 7 and 8. So you still have enough time to reach 8. He still have all this time to reach 8. So to calculate the time, let's see, when I was at 7, it was 0 minutes. Between 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock, it's 16 minutes. So I will take away this minute from it to see what time I have from here to here. So from here to here, it's 25 minutes. 60 minus 35 equals 25 minutes. So I have from here to here 25 minutes to reach 8 o'clock. He needs only 15 minutes to do morning exercise. And 25 is bigger than 15. So this means that, yes, he would have enough time to do morning exercise. Salma went for a walk. She left at 8:30 a.m. and come back home at 11:45 a.m. How long did she take to go for a walk? First, I will make the 2 clock, make it with analog form. It was 8:30 and 11:45. Now let's calculate the ellipse time between these 2 clocks. So I started at 8:30. So first, as you know, I calculate the hours. So I will move this arm to reach a whole hour till here, so the short arm will be on 9. Or I can do something else. I know that the long arm, if it moves from here to here, all this way, this means it moves a whole circle. From here to here, this moves a whole circle. So if I move the whole circle, the short arm will move to the next hour. So this means I move the whole hour. So it will be 9:30. Here it was 8, 8:30. If I move the long arm a whole circle, it will be 9:30. Now I will move the long arm a whole circle again. So the short arm will move to the next hour, so it will be 2 hours paused, and it will be 10:30. Now I want to move the long arm a whole circle, So the short arm will move to the next hour, so it will be 3 hours. Now it's 11:30, okay? But the time she reached home, it was 11:45. It means there's still 15 minutes. The long arm will move to here, so all this is a 15 minutes. So the time have passed is 3 hours and 15 minutes. So she took 3 hours and 15 minutes. Billy the bunny loved to hop. One day he lost track of time in hopping. When he got home, his mother said, "Billy Bunny, you have been hopping for 3.5 hours. So, if he started hopping at 1 a.m., when did he finish?" So, when he started hopping, the hour was like this, the clock was like this, at 1 o'clock a.m. I want to know when did he come back. Let's calculate the time. I'll calculate the hours first and the minutes. So if the long arm move all the way like this, make a whole circle, so the short arm will move to the next hour. So this means the 1 hour have passed. But he moved for 3 hours. He hopping was for 3 hours. So the short arm will move to the next hour. It's 2 hours. The short arm will move to the next hour. It's 3 hours. Now I finished calculating the hours. Let's calculate the minutes. It's a half hour. So half hour means 30 minutes. So the long arm will move all the way here to make a half hour. So it will be like this. So now it's 3 hours and a half. This means that he got back home at 4:30. That means if I add to 1 a.m. o'clock, 3.5 hours, it will be 4:30. So Billy the bunny finished hopping at 4:30 a.m. or 4:30. Khaled spent 2 hours working on school projects. If he finished at 5:10 p.m., at which time did he started? So let's suppose that this was the clock when he started, when he finished. When he finished, it was 10:05. It means 10 minutes with 5. So I want to see when he started. So it was 2 hours before. So I will move the long arm. No, I will move the short arm to make an hour before. So the short arm will go back 1 hour. So this means the long arm moved back a whole circle. So this is a 1 hour. So I will move the short arm again to the hour before. So this means the long arm move a whole circle. So this is 2 hours. This means that he finished at 3:10. So if I took away from 5:10 2 hours, it will be 3:10. So Khaled started his work at 3:10 or 3:10 p.m. The bird began chirping at 3:47 a.m. If they chirped for 2 hours, at what time did they finish? So when they started, the clock was like this. The short arm between 3 and 4 and the long arm is almost gonna be on 10 because this is 45 minutes and this is 50 minutes, so 47 will be between them. Now I want to see when they finished. They finished 2 hours after this time. So I will move only the hours arm, the short arm. So I will move it 2 hours, so it's here will be 1 hour between 4 and 5. It was between 3 and 4, so a whole hour will be between 4 and 5. And next hour will be between 5 and 6. So it's 2 hours. So if I add 2 hours to 3:47, it will be 5:47 p.m. Sorry, a.m. The basketball game started at 7 and 5 minutes p.m. If it ended at 9:15 p.m. For how long was the basketball game? So I want to calculate the ellipse time between these two clocks. Okay? So I started at 7 and 5 minutes and finished at 9 and 15 minutes. So let's calculate the ellipse time. I started at 7 and 5 minutes. I will start calculating the hours first. But now I know a better way. I will move the hours arm. So it will be on 5 minutes. So this is a whole hour. And I will move this again. So it will be on 9. So it's 2 hours. Now it's 9 and 5 minutes. I must be at 9 and 15. So I'll move the long arm till here. So this is 10 minutes. So if the short arm is on 9 and the long arm is on 3, and it's moved from here to here, it's 10 minutes. So it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. The game. Kamal had a football practice and Rasha had a ballet class. Kamal started at 3:30 p.m. He walked for 10 minutes, practiced for an hour and a half, and then he walked back to home for 20 minutes. While Rasha started at 3:30 p.m., she walked for 10 minutes and practiced for an hour, and then she walked 20 minutes back to home. How many minutes did she took to reach home earlier than Kamal? So this is a multi-step story problem. So first I will start by calculating the time that Kamal take and calculating the time that Rasha take and see who reached earlier. So they both started at the same time. Okay, he walked for 10 minutes, started with Kamal for 10 minutes and practiced for an hour and a half, and then he walked for 20 minutes. While Rasha started at 3:30, she walked for 10 minutes and practiced for only an hour, and then she walked for home at 20 minutes. So mentally, as I can say by looking at the example, they both started at the same time, okay, and they both took 2 minutes to walk to the practice, but he practiced hour and a half and she practiced only hour, and they both take the same time to get back to home. So mentally, as I can say that she got earlier half hour more than him because he took an hour and a half to practice. But how to calculate what I just said mathematically? So let's see. He started at 3:30 minutes or 3:30. It took him 10 minutes to reach the practice, okay? So from here to here, it's 10 minutes. 5, 10, okay? Then it took him hour and a half to practice. So let's see. I will calculate the hours first. So the short arm will be moving to the next hour. So this means he walked for an hour. Okay? He practiced for an hour. And half, so I must move this half hour, the long arm, half hour. So let's see. Half hour means 30 minutes. So the long arm will move 30 minutes. This is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So all this will be hour and half. Hour and half mean all the way from 8 to 2. 30 minutes. So all this is 30 minutes. So the long arm will be on 2. So this means I will move to the next hour. Okay? Now I calculated the time he took to practice, and then he took 20 minutes to get back to home. So I will see here 20 minutes. It means 5, 10, 15, 20. So the the long arm will be on 6 to make 20 minutes. All the way from here to here is 20 minutes. So when he finished, it was 5 and 5:30. Okay? So how to calculate this? I will say that when he started it was 3:30, then I will add 10 minutes plus 1 hour and 30 plus 20 minutes. So calculate the minutes together first before the hours. We must start with minutes. So 30 plus 10 is 40. 40 plus 30 is 70. 70 plus 20, it will be 90. But I can't put 90 in minutes because 60 minutes will make an hour. So I will take 60 from them. So I will have 30 minutes. So 30 will make 1 hour here more. So I have here 1 hour plus 3 hours will be 4 plus 1 will be 5. So this means she ended at 5:30 as we calculated here. So now he finished in 5:30. So now we calculated it in many ways, in mental way and using the analog form and using the digital form. So this means he finished his activity at 5:30 p.m. or 5:30. So let's see how much time did she took. Russia started when it was 3:30. Okay? So I will use the analog form first to calculate it. She took 10 minutes to walk. So I will move 10 minutes. 5, 10. So it will be here on 8, 10 minutes. Then she practiced for 1 hour only. So I will move the short arm to the next hour. This means that move the whole circuit is a whole hour. Then she get back to home in 20 minutes. So I will see here, this is a 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, it will mean that it moves all the way, the long arm moves all this way. So the long arm will be on 12. That means the short arm will move to the next hour. So this means she get back home at 5 o'clock p.m. Let's calculate this in digital form. So I started at 3:30. Let's add 10 minutes plus 1 hour plus 20 minutes. So add the minutes all together. 30 plus 10 equals 40. 40 plus 20 equals 60. This is mean a whole hour. So I can't put 60 in minutes. So I put 0 minutes and put another hour carry up here to the hours. 1 hour more. 1 and 3 is 4. 4 and 1 is 5. So it's 5 o'clock. So I calculated analog way and digital way. So this means that Russia finished her activity at 5 p.m. So he finished his activity at 5:30 and she finished at 5. So this means that Russia took 30 minutes earlier than Kamal, as I said before, using mental way. Sarah got home from school and started her homework at 5 p.m. and it took her 22 minutes to do the science homework, 30 minutes to read an Arabic lesson, and 18 minutes to do her math homework. Mustafa also had the same homework and started at 5 p.m. Look, they started both in the same time. It took him 15 minutes to do his science homework, 20 minutes to read an Arabic lesson, and 10 minutes to do his math homework. So how many minutes did Mustafa take to finish his work earlier than Sarah? So you can calculate this mentally or analog way or digital way. I will use only digital way. So here I have Sarah and Mustafa. They both started at the same time. So I will calculate how many minutes each one of them took. So I will cut my paper into two parts, starting with Sarah, and see how many minutes she took. She took 22 to do the science, 30 to do the Arabic lesson, and 18 to do the math homework. So I will add this minutes to the hours she started at. She started at 5 p.m. or 5 o'clock. So I will add it like this, minutes with minutes. So I will add 22 plus 30 plus 18 with the minutes that I already have is 0 minutes. So 2 plus 0 equals 2. 2 plus 8 equals 10. So I will put 0 and carry up 1 here. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 and 3 is 6. 6 and 1 is 7. This means I have here 70 minutes. Can I have 70 minutes? Can I have more than an hour in minutes? No, I can't. So what I'm going to do, I will take 16 minutes from this and add 1 hour to the hours because this means 1 hour. So I will carry up here 1 more hour, and this 70, it will be only 10 minutes. Now 1 hour here will be carry up, and 1 plus 5 will be 6. So Sarah finished at 6:10 and 10 minutes p.m. Or I can say it's 10 past 6. Okay, let's calculate now what Mustafa took. Mustafa started at the same time. He took 15 minutes to do the science, 20 minutes to do the Arabic homework, and 10 minutes to do the math homework. So I will add all these minutes with the time he started at. Add the minutes with the minutes. 5 plus 0 equals 5. And 1 plus 2 equals 3. 3 plus 2 plus 1, equals 4. So here it's 45 minutes. It's less than 60, so I can write it as it is. It won't carry up any minutes, any hours for the hours. So I have here only 5, so I will drop down this 5. Now, that means he finished his homework 5:45 minutes p.m. or I can say it's 5:45. So Mustafa finished his homework at 5:45 minutes. As you can see that he finished earlier than her. So how many minutes more than her? Okay, we start calculating the minutes from here to here. As you can see, this is 5:45. How many minutes it wants to take it to reach 6 o'clock? So as I know, it's take only 15 minutes to reach 6 o'clock. Okay? And now it's 6 o'clock. How many minutes it took to be 6:10? So I will add 10 minutes more. 15 plus 10, 5 plus 0 is 5, 1 plus 1 is 2. So this means that Mustafa took 25 minutes earlier than Sarah. He finished his homework 25 minutes earlier than Sarah. This is all for this lesson. Thank you for listening.